What's up guys, Ryan Van Adler back here with another video. Obviously you can tell somewhere a little bit different, so I want to keep you kind of update as far as what's happened. So over the past, let's say 4 months, I know I haven't had any videos come out on YouTube. It's been kind of a weird time as far as music goes and really busy time. So flashback to October, basically the band that I was with, Astra Ever After, had been going through some stuff. We had lost our drummer, and I don't know, it was just a bunch of lineup changes. We didn't have a drummer for a couple months, and it was just kind of on life support. Nikki, my best friend, and I were kind of wondering like, hey, should we keep this going? What are we doing? And it was just kind of a weird, kind of like stressful time. But luckily when it's like the night before I turned 27, I was looking on Craigslist just trying to find a drummer, and we found a new one. His name's Otto. And we decided to kind of rename the band, start over, since it was still he and I kind of writing most of the songs, not like a ton had changed, but we wanted something where it started fresh and just felt kind of like it re-excited the excitement for us. So basically we, formed into a new band. We're called Kelker Plan, K-E-L-K-E-R Plan. Kind of short story is with it, we're based in Chicago, and there was a proposal back in the 20s to kind of expand our public transit, the CTA, Chicago Transit Authority. Obviously it never happened, and so like our train system, our bus system is just a pain to navigate. Obviously like it's better than nothing, but especially since the pandemic it's been not the greatest. So we all just thought it sounded kind of cool to nod to the city we all live in, city that we all love and stuff like that, so it just kind of felt fitting. But we had our first two songs, Fuck It All, and then Help, covered by the Beatles, that we released on Spotify, so I'm gonna have the link for that down in the description if you guys want to check it out. But we will have a music video for Fuck It All coming here soon. We're gonna be shooting that here in the next 4 or 5 days. Get that uploaded probably within the next month. Can't wait to share that for you. And then we have next release already coming, so that's like sneak peek. What I kind of wanted to do is, since we moved into this rehearsal space about 3 months ago, we're still getting everything set up, but I kind of want to give you guys a tour of just everything we've done so far, talk a little bit about what we're wanting to do, and just kind of go from there, because we're sharing this space with another band that Nikki's in called Thrilling Brilliance. Check them out on Spotify. They have a song out now, and they have another one coming out here, I think in the next couple of weeks. So Thrilling Brilliance, give them a shout, give them a spin. But basically, we share the rehearsal space with them because Nikki's in both bands. We're all like friends together and stuff like that. So it just makes it easier, save money, share a lot of gear. But the kind of process when we were just building this place was, we want a place where, one, we can obviously rehearse, a place where we can shoot content, so we want it to look cool, kind of vibe out, hence the lights, hence the murals, and all that kind of stuff. And there's always going to be more to come. We want to make this place like really feel like us, living and breathing and everything. But aside from that, like, we want it to be a place we can record too. So if you guys notice, we've got, it's kind of hard with the lights, but we've got everything mic'd up here, little bracket so we can film from overhead with a phone. So the drums are mic'd up, the bass is already ready to go. We've got XLRs run, so that when I'm using my Kemper, we can just plug right in. And then the only thing we have left to do is figure out, mainly because we need to figure out where our SM57 is, just so we can actually mic up the guitar cabs, because got the wall of cabs too. So let's kind of just start with how we have this place organized. I'm kind of hoping this tracks, like I'm just doing this on the whim, so if it's not totally, I don't know, totally clear how everything's going, if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'm really just doing this to like kind of show what we're doing and like, I don't know, update everything, because I do, now that we have this, so much easier to make videos. We have a space where like we don't have to be quiet. We can always have stuff set up. I'm going through trying to get it set up to where like we can just live stream at the press of a button. We don't have to worry about setting stuff up and getting ready. So this whole room is about trying to kind of get rid of as much friction as possible for the creative process, and not just music, but for videos, for recording, for rehearsal, for photos, all this kind of stuff. Because I mean, if you guys are in a band or if you're a musician, like, that we're not just doing music. We have to take, a dozen different hats, and a lot of the skills are things like we don't have, and we're kind of learning on the fly. So trying to make it as easy as possible so that we can get all of those things done. So that's kind of our philosophy here. But we're gonna start with the rack. Now, starting up, we just got a Furman power conditioner. We have the receiver for my wireless mic. And then this little blue box in the back is actually called a DMXIS. Now, what that does is it allows you to use a program like a DAW, so Logic, which is what we use, or Cubase, whatever, And you can program your light show via MIDI, and then that little box will translate the MIDI information into DMX so that you can send it to the lights. So we've got this one, which is having a seizure up here, and then a couple more back there. Used to have some that were in the kit, and then both the Astro cabs had lights on them too, so they would like flat, or they were like on cue to the music and everything like that. Have an in-ear system. So we've just been getting everything back up and going. You'll kind of notice there's a bunch of Astro stickers and labels and stuff like that that'll get swapped out. But then this is our Behringer XR18 Air. So that is our mixer where everything comes together. We're also using that as the basically interface to capture the audio from the drums and the Kempers if we want to decide to record live. And then moving down below that, we have our in-ear system, basically just one of the auxes from our XR18 plugging into this guy. We do have a second one if we want to run like individual mixes and stuff. But I think we were having an issue with one of them, so we decided to all just go on the same mix for a little while, and then we'll figure it out, get the other one swapped out. Moving below that, we have, this is the newest addition to the rack. It was actually something that Justice from Thrilling Brilliance had. So this is a Drive Rack PX powered speaker optimizer. So what it does is you plug the output of your mixer into this. This plugs into your monitors, PA speakers, and it helps to reduce feedback, but it also helps to kind of make everything sound a little bit clearer. So it does some automatic EQ based on the room. You plug in like a little reference mic, takes 10-15 minutes, but it did seem to make a big difference, mostly just the feedback suppression, like for what we do and the way we have the room organized. Down below that, we got a little drawer with our headphone mixer, headphone amp. Just got this back in the studio the other day, so we haven't totally run everything. And then down here, this is our Snake / like patch bay thing. I've got my Kemper down here right now, just I've got it plugged into the Mac. Going through, downloading a couple bits of software. The joys of new computers, having to go through and like redown all of your plugins, and then when you switch from Intel to an Apple M series chip, then you have to figure out like new ways to do some of it. So that's so much fun. But then on the desk, we've got one TV, two TVs. We're using the Mac Mini for pretty much everything, but now that I have the MacBook Pro M4 Pro, that's gonna be kind of like the powerhouse. So I'll probably use these guys in tandem when we're like live streaming, just one to process the audio, one to process the video. And then up here, we've got, so when I take the MacBook home, we're using the PreSonus as our interface, also to run these JBL speakers. That way they'll power off the Mac Mini, because this one doesn't have USB-C. And then we've got the Aero whenever we're recording like vocals or anything, because I do love using our built-on, like using the DSP power of this to do some of the plugins, because there's some really great universal audio stuff. So that's Thunderbolt. Right now it's just plugged into the computer. We've got our just kind of basic MIDI controller. Don't do a ton of that stuff, but it's nice to have it on hand. And then we got our PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and controllers, because let's face it, we all grew up in like the early 2000s, and gaming is one of the things that we all love to do. It's like a great, I don't know. I grew up playing Call of Duty, playing Halo. A bunch of the other guys grew up playing, I don't know, anything and everything. So always fun times. We'll actually probably end up doing some streams. So if you want to like come hang out with us, we're on Twitch, Kelker Plan, and on YouTube, Kelker Plan. So we streamed both of those, and we're going to be doing some video games here soon. Then moving over, got PA speaker. This is going to be like a little parts bin just for guitar bits. We've got like covers, knobs, screws, all that kind of stuff. A bunch of our cables, my hat. We got some whiteboard paper that is a total mess right now because the adhesive was not very good, so we're gonna have to pull that off. I think we're gonna put it on maybe like some plywood or like a piece of metal and then put it back up. That way it stays nice and flat. And if we do metal, that way it's like magnetized, so we can put little things up there. Then we got rack of guitars. So we've got, this is the drummer for Thrilling Brilliance, is his Ibanez semi-hollow. Then Justice, this is his Reverend bass. This is mine, Leviathan. It is a Fender Jazz Precision, or what is it, Aerodyne? Thing is absolutely awesome. And then this is one of my favorite basses of all time. This is Nicky's, so this is like his #1. It's called Sheena, because it's a Mike Dirnt signature. And then this thing's awesome. Looks like my camera's about to die though, so I'm gonna swap batteries and I'm gonna continue this in just a second. Okay, got the battery changed. But yeah, Sheena, so he put it together with parts that he got like on Reverb and everything like that, and it's just is a solid, thumping, ripping bass. I absolutely love that thing. Like any chance I get to pick it up and play it, it's always a really fun time. Then, right in front of the mural, we got Nicky's Squier Bass 6, so it's basically like a 6-string bass. But it's between the octaves of a guitar and a bass. So this one, like not this exact one obviously, but like this type of thing was like back in the Saddle by Aerosmith, and there's even a little bit of it apparently hiding in Welcome to the Jungle. So like if you ever watch Slash's Gibson thing where he's going through and showing all his guitars, he's actually showing one of those vintage bass sixes, and he says that they were using it as like some of the rhythm stuff on Welcome to the Jungle, and I think a couple other places on Appetite for Destruction. So super like underrated thing just to add some texture, especially if you do like a fuzz or octave or anything like that. It's just super awesome. And moving over here, we got Nicky's bass rig. So we got a PA thing. Sometimes we'll plug this in tandem with the bass just to give it just like a absolute wall of sound, especially if we're plugging in the guitar side as well. But I'm usually running Kemper, so we don't really need to. So he's got his PV DDT bass amp. Then he's got a DI running under the carpet to plug in. You have a vintage Ludwig kit, again with the Astro kick still on there. Everything's mic'd up with, these are just like a Shure drum mic kit. And then, kind of show the snare. This is Max, the drummer for Thrilling Brilliance's snare. So it's like a little, I don't know if it counts as a piccolo, but it's like 3.5 inches deep. And then he has a pigskin head on there. If you can see like the texture when it starts to work up and stuff like that. That snare is, it's loud. It really sounds like a machine gun. Then over here we got Mike's Mesa. He is the guitarist in Thrilling Brilliance. And working from the top, we have my DSL 15. This is the first tube amp I ever bought. Nicky's Black Star, Jared James Nichols signature in the green Tolex. Moving down, we have my 2015 Marshall 2555X, which is the anniversary reissue of the Silver Jubilee. And this is an amp that like I never thought I would have before they did the reissue. When it came out, I was just beyond stoked. Happened to find one at CME without the intention of buying it. Like I just saw it, got a good deal on it, and then I was walking out with Marshall, and it's freaking awesome. But the part that sucks is I broke one of the knobs. Somehow a couple of the knobs like froze. This one just broke off when I was trying to twist it. So I have to take it into the tech to get a couple of things done on it. Get this guy back up in working order. We have Nicky's cab here. This is just a 212, and it's got, I think, Celestion creambacks in it. And then the Astro cabs currently are empty. One of them used to have, there's another set of Celestions, like, not silverbacks, or it was like a lesser known kind of thing back from the 90s. And then I also have a Marshall JCM 800 412. Saw it in storage, so I need to bring that out. And we're just trying to figure out like how to arrange all of the amps to like make it look cool. But yeah, that's pretty much like where the space is right now. So all the lights are on DMX. We got a little bit of storage up here, so like nothing crazy. We're just trying to make the space like functional. But the biggest things we're like trying to do next is one, just trying to make sure like the more we record on it, we went through, got all the levels set up, so there's a template. So we're trying to get like the audio to sound great, so that the first song we record in here, we're just gonna kind of give it a test run, see how it goes, and then we'll kind of adjust from there. And we still need to get a sub for the room just so that the bass is pumping when we're recording. We have a better accurate, like a more accurate image of what's going on there. And yeah, after that, there's a couple of visual things we want to do. We do kind of want to build a cloud going across the top. So kind of like not, like I do want to do one of the production clouds so it actually like is sound treatment, but I also want to do kind of one of those funky Pinterest where there's like the lights and the Chinese lanterns and stuff, so it just looks vibey in here. Next thing, we do have plans to build, basically just put a skirt around the drum riser here, kind of clean everything up because we are using it for storage, like guitar cases and stuff. And then we need to put a backdrop going up along here and then put a little more sound treatment. This is just stuff we had. So we are going to go through eventually and build the boxes out of like the Rockwell and stuff like that. So don't come at me in the comments, that is coming. We just haven't had a chance to like build them and get all the stuff. And yeah, we're gonna put some of those guys on the ceiling as well. So that'll be kind of like more the aesthetic side of things. And I think after that, you know, we're pretty much in good shape. There's like more of the murals gonna come. We are looking to get a new couch. This one just came with the rehearsal space. And none of us have trucks, so trying to get one off of like Craigslist or Marketplace has been kind of a pain, but hopefully that'll be coming here soon. So do that. We need to replace the rugs, get something again, a little like something Oriental or like Turkish, whatever, that makes us kind of feel like we're in a studio, like those really ornate ones that we all love. And then yeah, one of our friends, Kiana, is actually doing some of the artwork around here. So doing a moth here, there's like a little alien thing going on over there. And then this is one of my favorite one in the room. Just like super funky art, but like the whole goal is basically to have like no white on the walls anymore. So eventually it's all going to get kind of filled in with doodles and stuff. So we got like a little arm there. We got some mushrooms starting over there. And then I also almost forgot to kind of talk about the wall of guitars. I know this is like turning into a long video, but real quick, basically the orange SG is just a no-name kind of knockoff. Got a Corkcicle sticker up there because they make the best coffee cups. And then 100% certified shitbag friends. This is one of the old Astro stickers. And then this guy has, it's a Duncan custom distortion, I think is what it is. I get that from Nikki. Then we have one of my favorite guitars. This is Scout. So it's a Warmoth neck, reverse headstock, all roasted maple. Kind of can tell it's like really worn in. It's like 3 years old, but this thing looks cool. And then just my sticker bombed 93 Strat. This one's called Scout. So it's just got, it says Love and Rage on the horns. It was really angsty when I was younger. And then this is a Schecter Ultra 3. Super awesome sounding guitar. It's got a Seymour or a TV Jones in there. Absolutely awesome. I'm gonna be picking this up off Nikki here soon. I cannot wait. And then we got Blue Supra up here. And I'll be honest, I think this one belongs to Justice. It used to belong to Nikki. And like things in the bands kind of change hands so often it's really hard to tell who things belong to anymore. It's basically just a giant swap meet. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in here. So like I said, like it's gonna be improving. Now that I have this, it's gonna be a lot easier for me to make videos, to keep posting regularly here. But I'm really excited to like show everything as this place evolves. And just show more about like how we have things wired. So if you guys have any questions, like if you're in a band and trying to set up your rehearsal space, hopefully we can give you some cool ideas. If you're not in a band, hopefully it's just maybe an entertaining process as we go from like rehearsal space, do the live streams. We've got a couple shows booked that are coming up here soon, so I can't wait to like film those or live stream those on YouTube. Just kind of like take you along the whole process. But if you guys have made it this far, hit that like button because it does help kind of get everything out to more people so that we are kind of spreading the message of Kelker Plan and just the music in general. Check out Kelker Plan on Spotify, on Apple Music, anywhere you guys listen to music, on YouTube, on TikTok, everywhere. And yeah, let me know in the comment section if you guys have any questions about like the space, about any of the music stuff. I can't wait to just kind of like show you guys how we record everything and just like that whole process, because like music it's what I'm here to do. And I know like everything on my channel so far has been more me like covering stuff, but there's so much more to like my musical identity. So like if you check out Astro Ever After on Spotify, that's stuff that Nikki and I have been working on for the last 5 years. That's kind of like what we have to say musically. And I don't know, I hopefully can show some people some stuff that make it a little bit easier than it was for us to try and figure it out ourselves, even whether it's figuring out the lights or recording stuff or just getting good tones or whatever. So yeah, I'm rambling at this point, but I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Peace.